Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Adik Sai and welcome to Dark Infotech. And this is our Python for beginners series guys. And I think we are installing Python VS Code and wrote our first program and learn about the variables, data types and input output statements and along with the operators in the previous sessions. And today is a very interesting topic guys, and it is very important for us for the rest of the coding. And nowadays the topic is honest opinion, one of the most exciting topics in the entire series because this is a moment your program stops being dumb and starts actually thinking. Let me ask you something guys, in the real life do you do the exact same thing every single day, no matter what's happening around you? Of course not, right? If it is raining, you will carry an umbrella. If it is not raining, you do not carry. And if you are hungry, you will eat something. If you're not, you will not eat something. And your entire day is full of these small decisions. If it happens, do it. Otherwise, you'll do something else, right? Guess what? Computer needs to make decision too, and that's exactly what we are learning today. Conditional statements. And I want to create a new file for this. So let me wait. This is for conditional statements. Okay. Yes. Yeah. And by the end of this video, we'll cover these topics guys. Like first topic is if topic, and second if else, and the third topic is nested if, and the fourth topic is handling multiple conditions. And the fifth topic is the past statement. And this final is final one is some real world problems. Okay, these are the topics we'll cover in this session guys, so do not worry, it's very easy to understand. So let's start the class guys. Before starting the class, please like, share, subscribe this channel, and do not forget to comment anything if you have any doubts, and if you want to share anything, and if you want to improve something from my side, can you please share in the comment section guys, and I will definitely respond it as soon as possible when you share it. And do not be late guys. Okay, so before I show you any code, I want to understand why this concept even exists. Imagine you build a simple calculator program. uh, it just takes two numbers and adds them, right? For example, you have in a calculator in a device. So let's open it guys, and in that it will ask some questions like enter the first number and enter the operator and enter the second number and then press the equal to. It will give the answer. Means what is taking here, taking the two inputs from the user and asking the operator also from the user, and then doing the calculation by the program itself. So here you're giving the instructions to the computer like that, you can application, and means like a program, and asking the answer from them. Like that the program does not does the same thing every time, no matter what. It has no brain, it cannot take decision, it cannot decide anything except the user request. But now imagine you build as something smarter, say a program that checks if the student has passed or failed an exam. The program needs to look at the marks and decide, and is this a 40 or above, then it's pass, and it's below 40, then it's fail. So the design part, what do you mean design part, like is a condition guys. So if the light is green, you go. Means see guys, if you are in a on a road and you're waiting in a traffic signal, and if the light is green, you will go guys. If it's light is red, you will stop, and if your light is yellow, you will slow down. So these are the conditions you follow in the real life, right? So it's actually run in the if else statement, guys, in the real life, and one condition on three different outcomes, right? uh, so additionally, conditional statements let your program look at some information, call a condition, checks if the output is true or false, and then decide what the code to run based on that. This is the foundation of what we call control flow, controlling which part of the code actually runs. Alright, the theory is done. So let us some actually code now. So I want now I will explain one topic about the first topic, if. What do we mean if? Um, the most basic condition statement in Python is if. So the syntax is uh, first I will write my if, and let's take an input first from the user. Each int of input of enter your age, right? We're taking the value from the user, guys, and then after I will check the that you are eligible for the voting or not. For this I using the if case. Let us see that. Let's write the if first and then give a space and write the condition that age is greater than equal to 18. You know the, guys, for the eligibility of the election voting, they should be more than or equal to 18, and then give a semicolon and then give enter, and it will give the next block. Means, see guys, it automatically gives the some space between the next line, because it is involving the if case itself. If you directly write this, means it is not involving in this. Okay, and I writing the condition that print I writing the statement to print if the condition is right, that print you are eligible to vote, right? And I want to save this first, control S, and then I should execute this part. See, I'm writing my age is 19 and just under. See, you are eligible to vote. See, it directly checking that is directly checking the condition that using your age, so that by using these condition statements you can print that it is eligible to vote. And if it is wrong, for example, my age is, let us think that my age is 17 or 16, I will give the 16. See, it's nothing, it just shows only if the age is 18, greater than or equal to 18. Otherwise it will not execute this part. That's why you use some space in between after this next line. So that's why it was involved in this particular block itself. That's why you will give some space. If you leave this space right now, right, and just want to print this one, it shows some error, because see guys, because even the if condition is open, we cannot directly give an empty part in the if condition, so that it gives some error. So you're using this if condition. This is the first topic we explain, guys, the if statement. So it's easy to understand, so don't need to worry about that. And let's go another example, that either the given number is even or odd. So first thing we need to first decide this one. Yeah, and next another example, I want to take an example about the number as well. Let's take a variable here and write int of input of enter a number, and then I using the if condition that either a is an even number or not. If a modulus of 2 is equal to 0, when anything a number is divided by 2 itself, it gives the remainder 0, then it's said to be even number. You know that now, guys, everything. Means, for example, you divided 4, let us assume that a is equal to 4 is divided by 2, then the remainder is 0. And for example, let's take example 5 is divided by 2, it remains 1, so it fails the condition about this one. So For the even numbers only satisfied, so that just I want to give this the print uh, even number, right? So let us check that how it works. First I need to say this part, and then I just run this part. Let us see what will give. So I taking giving the number is 100 and the print. See, it gives a even number. That's the power of if. So by using this, we can estimate that the we can give the condition. If either is true, it has give the part. Either is false, it skips the part and it will go to the next line. For example, I writing this part like print hi and saving this, and I'll just run. I will show the difference between the when the statement is correct, when the condition is correct, when the condition is false. Now the first case when the condition is wrong. So I just writing a number 103 and just writing this. See, the I is printed. So actually the condition is wrong. So it skips this particular part and goes to the next line and it print the I. And if the condition is true, then let's see that. I'll just entering 100 again and just enter. See, if the condition is true, it enter this part. I just execute a command I gave that it print a even number. After that, executed again the next line. So that's why using this particular space to identify the is the particular command is in this inside the condition. If you did not give the space, it gives sometimes error, because any condition with empty commands it gives a error itself, guys. So that it is impossible to do. And now I'll give one question for that to solve similar this topic only, guys. So don't need to worry about it. So I just want to write this first. Yeah, it's done. Now this the second question. So you already done the age and this, right? Okay. Let's give the condition like see. Take input from user and check whether the given number is divisible by 3 or not. Check the variable divisible by 3. That's it, guys. This is a very simple question by comparing these two questions I gave. So actually, guys, basically I want to telling about that, guys. Mostly see, we just completed the first topic that I want to recap for this condition. So I just want to take this one first thing. Actually, we're discussing about the condition statements. You know that condition statements are those which are used to mostly see, guys. It will helps to do the condition do the queries, like see, guys. For example, we are doing multiple tasks, but in particular case, for example, guys, for example, you are taking an what you are telling that, guys, means actually, guys, we're building for example, we're building a calculator and asking the user about the according the what is the operators and operands to proceed the execution part. For example, taking the input from the user and taking the operator input from the user and taking again the number and doing the execution part what the user required. So it is not doing any condition, right? It will just do the process what the programmers design, just asking the inputs and do the execution part, that's all. And if otherwise, for example, guys, if you want to check that your exam is pass or fail, then you will just enter marks and it verifies the condition that if your marks is greater than or equal to 40, then you are pass, otherwise you are fail. That means it's checking the condition. What that's the use of condition statements, guys. It is very important in this Python classes, right? And in condition statements there are many types, like if else, nested if, handling multiple conditions, and past statements. And there are some real world problems we'll discuss in this session, guys, so don't need to worry that. So the first topic is if statement. What even if statement? It just give the one conditions and it checks either it's true or false by using the comparative operators. Let us take an example, guys. Let's take an input from the user, the age, and I want to require the age in integer itself, okay, guys. And I is comparing with that the age is greater than or equal to 18. If in the Indian constitution, every citizen who are passing 18 or 18 more have the eligibility to vote their to vote in elections. So I was writing a code to verify he is eligible for vote or not. For that, I just taking the input from the user of this age and of his or her age. I'm taking that after checking the condition, you just execute that you are eligible or not. So it verifies that you are eligible for the voting or not. This is the first example, guys, I use it in if else, and the second example is taking a number from the user and verifying it's even or not. For that, I just give a condition that a modulus of 2 is equal to 0. If a particular number is divisible by 2 and gives a remainder 0, it's comparison an even number, guys. So if it verifies, then it shows even number, otherwise it false. For example, guys, if it false and it just only print the I, because see, guys, the if condition is just if condition is only satisfied when the if condition is true, just only execute the inner part of this particular code and along with the outer part also, guys. If the if condition is false, it skips this inner part and just only print the outer part. That's the power of if. So let us explain this, the third example, third one. I hope you can solve this, guys. So once take a pause, once pause the video and then try the code yourself. It may be 2 lines itself, and after that just continue and verify with the answers. And please, before verifying, just submit the code and I will verify. I will definitely respond it, guys. Please do not neglect with that. So I hope you submit these answers. So I will just start answering this one. So I just take a number, a is equal to int of input of enter a number, right? After that, if a modulus of 3 is equal to 0, I'm printing this, and a statement print that divisible by 3. Done, guys. I just first save this and then just run this one. Let's see what will happen. So I think a number like 93. Let's check that. So, guys, it's divisible by 3. I'll just again with another number, that is 79, and just enter. So it is nothing will divisible because the condition is false, so it skip this part, and next line there is no condition, so it shows empty one, right? So after this I want to delete this one. So now I completed the one topic, that if statements. Now we are going to the second topic, that is if else statement. So, guys, if else statement is very easy. Okay, guys, just see, guys, everything is same in if, but there is one additional one is added in if else one. So now I think you understand that if we want also see, guys, if the condition is true, it prints the only the true condition. If a condition is false, I want to print the understatement, like, see, you are eligible for voting program for voting grace. If you are eligible, means if your age is greater than 18, then it prints that you are eligible. If the age is less than 18, I want to print that you are not eligible. So by using this one thing, I just explained that by using this if else, you can easily solve this one, guys. So let's give an example. Let's do that the same example for if else. So let's take an age variable again, int of input of enter your age, right? And just entering this, and I give condition again, age greater than or equal to 18, right? Oh, sorry, I'm using this one, age greater than equal to 18, right? And then So guys, see, you can keep a brackets or you can give the space itself. Nothing will happen, guys. Nothing will happen. Both are correct. So don't be confused, right? So I mostly use brackets. For you, I will just use this for better understanding. Okay, guys. Mostly, most coding sources or any etc. Everywhere they just prefer this one, but I will also prefer this. But if you are interested in this, then I'm also following this. Okay, guys. So I'm just entering that and just setting the condition that you are eligible for vote, right? And for the false condition I want to print, so I just writing the else and printing this semicolon and just writing this print of you are not eligible for vote, right? Let's check it, guys. What will be the output of this? So just I want to save this first and I'm just entering this. So let us see what will happen right now. So I'm just writing my age is 19. See, it shows that you are eligible for vote. Let's see for the less than 18, guys. So I just entering a random age like 17 and just entering this. See, guys, you're not eligible for vote. So if you want to express the positive and negative of positive sense and negative sense of a particular condition, means if the condition is true, it prints the one particular command, and if condition is false, it also prints in the particular command. So you can use the if else is better for only for the two possibilities, if the either is true or false. Then you can use this particular that if and else. If only a particular true you want to display, you can use if. So mostly it is very easy to use if, guys. So don't need to worry. Like for example, guys, uh, let's take a similar real life example for the better understanding of this if else. For example, if you are going in an ATM and if you are keeping your debit card inside and just entering the formalities like if you want to withdraw some cash, so you click the withdraw and just writing the amount and just writing the pin. After entering the pin, if the pin is correct, it withdraw the cash. You can withdraw the cash. Otherwise, it shows that incorrect pin. Means by using this if else, if the pin is equal to the user input, then input value, then it shows that the transaction is successful and you can withdraw the money. And otherwise, if it is false, it shows the else part that you are not the transaction is failed and you cannot withdraw the money. So that you can check whether in positive way or negative way also, guys. So don't need to worry. So let us give another example for this example for better understanding. So let's first try this first and next the second example. Let's check the given number is a positive or negative for the better understanding, guys. And also you can check that which number is greater, which number is smaller. So let us check first. First I can give an example. This one, just take a number. So a is equal to int of input of enter a number, right? After this, just enter this one and just writing that if a greater than 0, I'm sorry for this, a greater than 0, print positive number. And else print negative number, right? So let us check whether the given output is a positive number or a negative number. So everyone some means, see guys, in some cases most of you think that why you are not writing the if else part in the condition, only the if part you are writing the condition itself. Why you are not writing that else part the condition? Because see guys, if the condition is true, it execute this part, otherwise it just execute this part only, guys, if the condition is false. That's why you're not writing the condition again because for the error case. So let's check it that what will the output of this one. So I just entering a number that is 100. Let's check it's a positive number and just I'll run again, and then I'll writing a negative number. Let's check it 70 minus 70. C shows a negative number. So by this you can write the positive or negative number by entering a number. Are you understanding, guys? So let's just write in the program for better understanding that to verify that which number is greater. So let's take two inputs from the user, that int of input of enter the first number and b is equal to int of input of enter the second number, right? And just enter this one, and I using the if condition. If a greater than b, if a greater than b, print that a is largest. Means, one second, a is largest, right? For pattern, that's it, guys. Means just this particular number, and I'll write the else part. Else print b is largest. Let's check the whether the a or b will be largest. So first I want to save this one and just run this part. So let's check this, what will happen. So just taking the two numbers. So the first number may be 25 and next number may be 36. Let's check. So 36 is largest. So it shows the which number is largest by writing this pattern. So by using this you can just determine the which number is largest, which number is smallest by using this. So it is very helpful, guys, for us. So let us give one example again, that see, guys, let's give another example. I'll give one small question for you guys. I think you will by listening this you can understand the word. By listening this, I know you can solve it in a short period of time. So let's give the question that take the input from user and take the input from the user and checks whether the given number is even or odd. I think it's very easy, guys. You know that in the previous topic we explained that part in clarity, guys, so don't need to worry about it. So I hope you understand this, guys, about the if else and if. I know that, I want to give a brief explanation about this again, about the if else part. You know that if else is very easy, guys. See, guys, in if else we can check the condition either is true or false, and you can execute that true or false. If the condition is true, you can execute the commands along with it. If the condition is false, we can also execute the commands regarding the given commands by the programmer. And I just explain the three sample programs for that. Identify the for the eligibility of vote, and if the given number is a positive or negative number, and if we can use for the comparative purpose. So I verified that I take an example that the first example is I take a input from the user of user age, and I verify that if it is greater than a rating or not. You know that if the age is greater than or equal to 18, then it is eligible for the vote. If it's not eligible for vote. So I just do the same thing that if the age is greater than or equal to 18, and just a printer that you are eligible for vote, and for else it is not eligible for the vote. So similarly, we take an input from the user for writing a random number, and it verifies if it's greater than 0, it's a positive number. If it's less than 0, it's a negative number. Actually, if the a is greater than 0 means it's a positive number. In some cases, like if a less than or equal to 0 or a is equal to 0, it shows a print a negative number. So I take the two inputs a and b, and I verifies if a is greater than b, it shows that a is the greatest, and otherwise it shows that b is the greatest. By using this, we can give the statements of true and false conditions. Okay, so I hope you understand these three examples, guys, and I hope you can solve this fourth example. So please pause this video right now and solve it this code. I know you can solve this problem in a short period of time. After solving this, please share in the comment section, guys. Do not avoid this. After that, after sharing this and continue this video, and to verify this, the your writing code is correct or not. So I hope you will write the correct code, guys. So let us write this answer for this solution. So I just taking the user from the I take value from the user by using the input function, that input of enter a number. So I just I forgot to take that int of input of number, means I forgot to convert the particular one in that. After that, and check if a modulus of 2 is equal to 0. Sorry about this, I forgot. A modulus of 2 equal to 0, and then just enter and just giving that print even number. Else, if the condition is false, what will happen, guys? It must be an odd number, right? Odd number. That's it, guys, we're done. So I want to save this one, and I just run this part. So I just entering a number like random number 121. I just entering this, so it's an odd number. So actually the condition is false, so it just printed the else part. So that's why you can use this if and else for the to print the enter the input and output. I mean enter the both the true and false commands. Are you understanding, guys? So I just want to write this one. And now I'm going to the next topic about that is nested if statements. I hope everyone is understanding about this, right, guys? It's very easy, guys. Do not worry. Actually, by solving more and more problems, you can understand better and better. So do not forget the syntax, right? Like if the condition and colon and just enter it and write the print or reprint or commands what you require. So do not forget it, guys. It's very important. This is a basic syntax model. Like, see, guys, if you forgot the syntax, it will be very difficult to solve this problem. And do not forget that else, similar to like else colon and the statements what you want to written in between the condition. Okay, guys, do not worry, it's very easy. So let's go to the next topic, guys, that is nested if statements. What do you mean by nested if statements? It should be level up, guys. So whether the condition in you know that if you want to check the condition inside the conditions, means when the condition is true, it go inside and check the another condition. After that, it will, when it's verified, it goes to the execution part. So checking condition inside the condition, that is a nested if, guys. So let's give a syntax model for this for this nested if condition, guys. Don't worry, it's very easy. So for seeing an I will explain the example right now. After that, you'll understand better than the definition. Okay, guys, see, I just want to nested if, right? So first I want to write the syntax one. So syntax is if condition, and again if condition, colons is first, guys. If you neglect means it will be a problem. So statement and the else part, again statement and the else part, statement. So this is the syntax of if else conditions. if nested if, guys. Actually we can write a condition inside the condition. So if either the two conditions satisfies, then it goes to the particular statements. Otherwise, if the one condition, the first condition is satisfied and the second condition is not satisfied, then it goes else part. If the first condition is not satisfied, then it go to else part. That is the power of nested if. So by using this you can solve if the agent is for example, guys, you can solve the most that um, first thing let's take an example like we are applying a license, guys. So first it asks the Aadhaar card and it verifies Aadhaar card first. When it is certified by using this if condition, it goes to second if and it asks the PAN card again, and if it is again verify, then it goes to the statement that your license is applied. So wait for some time for the soft copy. It will print the statement. So by using these multiple conditions, by you initially is the best one we can solve it, guys. So let us take an example for that. Um, let's take an example. Hi, guys. So guys, our first example of this nested if, guys, that is first I take a input from the user first, enter a number, and the question of this first program is, guys, I want to check the given number is a positive along it's an even number also, then it shows a positive even number. Otherwise it gives the positive odd number when it is a positive number and an odd number. So let's verify that. So for that I take a input to ask the user that give a number, and then I using the if statement that the number is greater than 0, and it verifies. If it satisfies, then it gives the it will enter to the inside if condition. So after writing the if number is greater than 0, I need to check that if the number is greater than or if the number is even number or not. So I'll check that number percentage 2 is equal 0 for the even number, and just want to write that print statement that positive even number, right? And the else part is print positive odd number, right? And the final else part print not a positive number, right? So let us verify the code runs. First I want to save this one and just want to run this part. So first I'm taking an input from this statement, guys, so that maybe 95. Let's check it. It shows a positive odd number. First it verifies the numbers greater than or equal to 0, then it shows that 95. So 95 means what, guys? 95 greater than 0, it satisfies the condition, so it go into if and if inside if it is not satisfied, then you go to else part and execute this particular part itself, guys. So again it says number modulus of 2 is equal to 0. 95 modulus of 2 is equal to 0 is a false case because it gives a reminder 1. So that it shows the else part that print the positive odd numbers. So it just it print the positive odd numbers. For example, I need to do another example, like I take a number like 100. Let's see it gives that positive even number, that is first it satisfies 100 is greater than 0, is satisfied, and again 100 modulus of 2 equal 0 satisfied because the remainder is 0, and then it print the positive even number. I need to verify the another case. If the number may be minus 24 and just entering this, see it the first condition only fails, so it go to the else part and just printed the not a positive number. So that's the power of using this nested if. So nested if is most benefit rather than this, but for the particular conditions you use the particular one, means there are some situations in our programming life. So for that pick the suitable one for that, like if else and nested if. Okay, guys. So let's see that another case, another example for the reference, guys. For that, uh, the example is as is you are passed the exam or not. Are you passed in distinction? So to verify these multiple conditions, so let's see this, guys. So I want to take the again input from the user like marks equal to int of input of enter your marks. Okay, guys. After that, if marks greater than equal to 35, and again if marks greater than equal to 75, and just print that pass with extension, and else part is just print the pass. You know, guys, in the exams, if you got more than 35, you just pass exam. If you got more than 75, you pass in the first class like a distinction. So after this, the else part print that if the marks is less than 35, in that you say that it's a fail. So after that, I just want to save this one. I just want to run this. So initially my marks may be, for example, 80 marks. Let's see the what will the output. See, guys, first it verifies the marks is 80 is greater than equal to 35. It satisfies the condition. Go to the inner if. After that, it again satisfy. It again checks that 80 is greater than equal to 75. Again it's true, so it just printed the pass with distinction. And I want to give this again one. Again I want to run this. So I just want to give that is 50 marks. Let's see. It's just give the pass. Again same process, guys. It takes input first. After that, it verifies that 50 is greater than equal to 35 is true. It go inside the if condition. Again it verifies that 50 is greater than equal to 75 is a false, guys. So it just printed the else part, that is just pass. And then the third case, let's see, guys, that maybe uh 25 marks I got, so it shows the fail. See, the first statement only fails the condition, so it just printed the else part, that is the fail. So that is the use of this nested if, guys. I hope you understand this. So I want to give the uh, I want to queue the another question, that is a login authentication. So let's take a random there's a third example I want to explain it, guys. So first I want to create a username. So I am just asking the username from the user. So input of enter username and password, enter password, right? After this, I'll check that if username is equal to admin. I take an example, guys. Do not worry about this. Like again, username is equal to admin, right? After this, after this, I'll check the password also. Like password, let's create that 1234, right? For just reference, guys. So do not take it. So print that login successful. Else print incorrect password. After that else part, print invalid username, right? So I want to save this first one. I just want to execute this. So let's give the inputs from the this coding, this particular program. So I just want to write this admin and just entering the password like 1234 See guys, login successful. See, first it verifies the username admin. So it verifies the admin equal admin. So it's true. So it goes to the inner if condition and it verifies the password 1234. After verifying, if it is true, it shows the login successfully. Actually, I wrote 1234. So let's write another program and the inputs. So let's just want to write admin. After that, I just trying a random number and check it. See, the inner if is condition is false, so you just print the incorrect password. And the last case, and writing that my name. So I'm just checking my the password that 1234. Just entering this. See, invalid username. So that's the power of this nested if condition, guys. I hope you understand. So see guys, now I want to give a small question for you. It's a very interesting one, so do not be skip don't skip anything, guys. So I want to try this one. After this, the question is, guys, would eligible everyone thinks that it's already over now, why we use the nested if? But in old eligibility there are some another conditions, guys. If your age is greater than 18 and if you are a senior citizen, then if you are a citizen of India, then it is eligible for vote in India. So check whether the the person is the person's age is greater than 18 and along with is an Indian citizen or not. So like check whether the person's age is greater than or equal to 18 and along with check whether the person is an Indian citizen or not. Don't need to worry, guys. It's a very one. I think some are confusing of this particular part, but don't need to worry. Okay, guys, it's a very easy one. So first, what will do the outer if means verify that age is 18 or not, and after that in the inner if you can check that is a Indian citizen or not. So by using this you can easily set that we can easily know that how the nested works. I hope you understand, guys. You understand the three programs of nested if, and I hope you understand the nested if very well. And I hope you understand up to now what I told in this video, that if else and nested if, guys. I think I completed half of this today's task, maybe like first three topics I first finished this, guys. So I hope you understanding this first three topics very well. Actually, guys, this is a very important, guys. Without this we cannot survive in the programming world, because without the conditions we cannot verify that we cannot satisfy what the coding is done. So please remember this topic, guys. It's very important, it's very easy also, guys. Do not be overlook and over focus on it. Just if normal focus, just give some focus and just solve the problems regarding. And as a charge it took you more than 5 to 6 problems regarding this topic, like if else and nested if and etc topics, and do the programs as your own. For that you can understand a while. So I hope you understand, guys. I hope you are done this coding question, guys. If you have any doubt, just please pin in the comment section, guys. I will definitely responded, guys. Okay, guys, and see, this is the entire question, guys. I hope you understand. So just pause the video and try the question yourself. If you are not and continue continue this video. Otherwise, you can try and submit the answer to me and cross verify with the answer I just giving right now. So after completing, just continue this one. So now I'm continuing this the programming. So I taking the input from the age, like age of int of input of enter your age, right? After that I taking another input that citizen, right, is equal to input of are you an Indian citizen. Just express in y or n. Y means yes, n is no, right? And after this I just setting if condition that if age greater than equal to 18, sorry, age greater than equal to 18, right? And just entering this print of, sorry, print I want to create the nested if, right? If citizen equal to maybe y, right? Then I'll just print the that you are eligible to vote, right? And else print that you are not eligible to vote because you are not a citizen, right? And the final else part, guys, the else part is print same condition, your same statement, guys, you are not eligible to vote because you are under 18. Okay, let's check that the output of this one. So before that I want to see this first. After that just want to run this. So the first output I will check this. I will just 19 and I was a citizen, so I just check that. See, the output is you're eligible to vote, right? And I want to run it again, and again my age is 19. This is my second test case, and I'm not Indian citizen. For example, I am not an Indian citizen. Okay, don't need to worry. I'm a Indian citizen only, guys. Don't need to worry. But in this program, for an example, that I'm saying that it is not. For example, if you give the no, and just entering this one, and see, guys, you are not eligible to vote because you are not a citizen. And I want to run it again, and I want to give the age less than 18, that is 17, and let's check it. See, are you Indian citizen? And it should be yes. And just entering this. See, you are not eligible to vote because you are under 18. See this, guys, I am satisfying these three conditions by giving the three test suits, so that it's touching the every condition, right, guys? Every possibility of conditions. So that's the power of nested if, guys. So I hope you understand this and you know to crack this before watching this entire solution. So by this we just completed the three topics, that if statements, if else statements, and nested if statements. Now the fourth topic is handling multiple choices. It's a very easy topic, guys, because see, guys, by this we can easily estimate that actually what you mean by handling multiple conditions means that if else if, guys. Else if statements means, like, see, guys, I will explain in this right now. First I want to write this particular one. Okay, now what do we mean if else statements? Like checking multiple conditions at a time without using the nested statements. Nested statement is what, guys, if the one the state condition inside the condition, but else if conditions means handling multiple conditions means checking multiple conditions in a single program. Let us check that. Let's we want to check that. Let's take an example like a temperature. If the temperature is greater than 40, then you can print that it's a hot and it's a very hot. And if greater than 30, it is hot, wearing a light cotton clothes. And if it's greater than 20, it's a pleasant weather, just enjoying a day. If greater than equal to 10, it's a bit cold. So let's express this one in the simple code. So just I want to take example from the temp. So I just creating a variable temp is equal to temp means the temperature. For temperature is a shortcut, and taking the input from the user input of enter the temperature, right? After this I just adding a condition like if temp greater than equal to 40, greater than equal to 40, then I just printing that it is extremely hot, stay indoor. That's it now, guys. If the temperature is greater than 40, then what you do, guys, you stay in the home and just watching TV, phones, right? And or somebody will study for the future. So that's why writing that. So now the second case, that if the current temperature is greater than 30, then we use that else if. It's a shortcut that, and writing the condition that, see guys, if up to right now you know that for the if case you write the condition, for the else we just not the right condition, but if else also we should write the condition. So it's very important, guys. So if temp greater than equal to 30, right? And just I want to printing that print it's hot, but we light cotton cloth, right? After that, then the third case, that if temp greater than equal to 20, right? That is print present weather, enjoy your day, right? After this, the last if use temp greater than equal to 10, right? Print that print it's a bit cold, wear a jacket, right? And finally the else part, guys. And you know that for the else part we do not write the condition statement, so I just want to print that print it's freezing, wear heavy woolens. So let's check that every condition is what is satisfying. So let's see that, guys. First I want to save this one and just want to run this. So for example, the temperature is maybe 42 degrees, then I just want to enter this. See, the first condition is satisfied, that it is extremely hot, so it stays indoors. So the same statement was printed here. So I want to run it again. So and I want to display that maybe 35, then it shows the second condition. It is short, very light cotton roads. For the third case, I just write 28 maybe. See, pleasant weather, enjoy the day. So I printed this particular block, right? And the third one, third case, fourth case maybe, and it may be 19. And just ending this. See, it's a bit cold. Wear a jacket. If the less than is 20 means it satisfies this case, right? After that, finally, if the temperature is less than 10, maybe 2 degrees, then it is freezing. Very heavy woolens. So by this we can solve the multiple cases. For that five, I uses of 5 cases and it 5 test cases. It shows that every one is correct. So by that, by using the multiple options, you can ask the multiple conditions and verify that it is right or wrong. So guys, it's very important, so do not worry. So this is the first example I was explaining regarding this CLCF. So after that, that electricity bill, like if you use current bill, that everyone knows that the current bill is measured with units, right? And the government will give the charge regarding the particular units, like if the current bill is greater than 100 or 200, the rate may be 3 units, 4 units for the per unit, right? Per unit the rate will be fixed according to the total number of units we use. So similarly like that, we just create a units regarding that. So let's create regarding that. So just creating a variable units and ask the user how many units used per month. So enter the number of units used in this month, right? In the previous month, in the previous month. In the previous month, right? So after this, I verify that if units greater than less than equal to 100, that rate is equal to maybe 3 per unit. If units greater than equal to 200, then rate is equal to 5. And finally else part are contained in the case like if units greater than equal to 300, rate is equal to maybe 7. And finally, if you use more than 300, then the rate should be 10. So the final final amount to be paid means the print total amount to be paid to the electricity board is comma units into rate. We can write directly, guys. Means we can take a variable like b is equal to units into rate, and you can write in place of that units into rate, you can write b. So but by saying the line, I'm just writing directly because it's a very not lengthy, guys. So I need to say this one and just want to run this one. So let us see that. So I just units maybe 250 units maybe. Let's enter this. See, it just multiply with 250 into 55, and I just got 1750, right? So by this, see, it satisfies the 7, so it multiply with 7, right? Actually the units is greater than first condition. I enter the units 250, So 250 is less than or equal to 200, false. And units 250 is less than or equal to 200, again false. 250 less than or equal to 300 is true. So I just multiply with 7, and just by the command I just 250 into 7. So the amount I should pay is 750 rupees I should pay. Like that, per units, and just pay total amount of units I paying like 750. So by this we can use multiple conditions. So by solving this, so it's very easy guys, so do not worry. So I just completed 4 topics right now of this today's session, and there are final 2 topics like past statement and some real world problems like a basic calculator and some amount deposit and some grade system also. I will explain in this video itself for you guys, don't need to worry. So because of this I just making a very lengthy video, maybe 1.5 hour. I was just making, I just tried computer up to 1 hour maybe. So do not be worried guys, I just started the past statement also guys, do not worry. Okay, so the fifth topic of this video is guys the past statement. It's a very small topic guys, but it's an important concept guys. So do not be neglect, and it's very easy to understand guys. So don't be worried guys. So sometimes we'll write a code. So you want to set up the structure of your if else statements, right? And but you're not ready to write the actual logic yet. Like see guys, I want to create a if else statements like some back transaction details, but I do not know the procedure, so I want to skip that part. So but when you execute, it indicates that the particular block is error. So I want to ignore that errors, because after I can study very well about that, then I can solve it very easily, so that it will helpful for me the first studying. So by this I just use this pass statement to pass this the video. So for example guys, I just want to use a similar example only for this statement also, because I think you are very have some idea regarding this one. So same, let's I take example like age is equal to something 17, because it's first attending from the users, so it's just creating a small number initially. After that I just verify that if age greater than equal to 18, just I use the past, because I forgot to do what the logic I want to write. So I just using the past one and just else part, and if print not eligible, right? So I just want to save this first and just want to run this. See, it directly checks the condition 17 is not greater than, so it's false. I want to change it again to 19 and just want to save this and just want to run this again. See, it just not run anything, it checks the condition. So if the condition is true, so it goes at this, and there is no code, but it by using this pass you just skip this particular block, so just stand the job. So you have not decided the if case, so I want to use this pass condition to avoid the error, and we will come back and we will feel it later, because you guys sometimes you forgot some logic in between the code. If you neglect and leave means after execution part it will give the full of errors and it full of addict to root, right? By using this past statement we can temporarily skip this particular part. After you can got some idea regarding that logic, you can again remove that past statement, you can refill with your logic as you got. So by this we can save some time, and by this you can save some one. So in real life you think about the past like leaving a placeholder note in recipe, like in the step G you will figure out later. You know that there's a step there, you are not just filling it right now, but you don't want to skip the step number entirely, right? So by this you can use the past statements. It's very easy guys, do not worry about that. So past is very easy. If you want to skip the particular, if you want, I think if you forgot any statement and you want to skip the compiler part, means if you want to skip the compiler part of this if statement, then you can use past statement, right? That's the power of past, so don't need to worry. So up to now I completed the 5 topics like if else, nested if, multiple landing conditions, and the finally past statements. Now let me take a small coding project like grade calculator, and next ATM menu system, and next and login system, etc. So out of three, I just explain the two parts, and you can finally the third part you can solve itself. Okay, guys, do not worry, it's very easy. So let's start this. So I just want to create a new folder because it exists more than 200 lines. So I just full of. I don't want to continue this part. Okay, so I just want to create. If you want to continue this part, only you can just project one. Okay, dot b1. I just want to enter this. Okay, now let's start about the first program, that is grade calculator, right? It's very easy, guys, do not be worried. Okay, so let's start the grade calculator, guys. So let's take input from the user about the marks is equal to int of input of enter your marks, right? After that, you'll verify that if marks greater than 0, that print invalid, along with if marks greater than 100, print invalid. You know that, guys, the marks consist of between 0 to 100. So if the marks is less than 0 and greater than 100, it's invalid. So just adding that basic one. Okay, I forgot to give the double quotes. I just done that, and now actual program starts now. So let's go that one. Now open again a if statement, and if marks greater than equal to 90, then I want to print grade E, right? Again if marks greater than equal to 80, print grade B, right? And if marks greater than equal to 70, print grade C, right? And finally if marks greater than equal to 40, print grade D. And final else part, if the marks is less than 40, then directly you can write fail, grade F, that is fail. Okay, so let's see the output of this. So let's first, I want to save this one. I just want to enter this. Let's see. So I just want to enter the marks that maybe, for example, minus 100. See, it shows the invalid, so it satisfies the first one. So let's see the second. If the marks is more than 123, again invalid, it satisfies the second one, right? And the third test case is if the marks is I got maybe 95, then I just enter. See, it just printed the grade, it satisfies the third one. Let's see the fourth case. Just I want to get 88 maybe. I just entering it. See, it's grade B, and I want to enter it again. Now the third case is maybe 77. I just entering this. It shows grade C. After that, my test case maybe 56. I just entering this, grade T. So it's satisfied with this condition. And finally F, else part. So I got maybe 25 marks. Sorry, I forgot. 25 marks. I just done this. Okay, I forgot this. I just want to run this first, and then 25. See, it shows the fail part. So by this, it satisfies as I check the conditions of everyone by using this ending marks. So we can use this grade calculator for finding the grades. Are you understanding, guys? So this is the first program we completed. So it verifies that firstly, maybe it verifies the given number is greater than or equal to the number is in between 0 and 100 by using these two statement, guys. If it is 100 or not, if the number is in between 0 to 100, then it will skip these two parts, otherwise it shows the invalid only. After that, if the number is greater than 90, then it shows the A part. If the number is greater than 80, it shows the B part. It shows greater than something is C part. If greater than 40 is D part. Otherwise it shows the feed part. So this is a grading system I just made right now. And the second project we discuss about this. So I hope you understand this, guys. If you have any doubts, just in comment section, post in comment section, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe this channel, guys. I hope you understand. And I want to just add this one. Done. Now the second one is an ATM system. So it is a very lengthy process, means lengthy program, because when you go to an ATM and withdraw the cash, there's multiple conditions, right? So you want to write, if you want to touch everything, means it takes some time. So that so I hope you understand. I hope you have some patience, listen to everything. So let's start this one, and just I'll complete this in this video itself only, guys. Okay, I hope you're understanding this. If you have any doubts, just send a query in the comment section. So let's start this second programming, that is ATM system. So let's initially our balance will be 1 lakh, guys. So for example, guys, because see, everyone thinks that after the BTech, after that education, I just want to earn a 1 lakh per month for the spending of the family, can live like a luxury. So everyone thinks a lot. So just so that I want to create a feeling that amount. So I just I'm creating a 1 lakh balance. After that, I want to print the statement like print welcome to Hardik Bank ATM. I just creating a bank with my name, so don't need to worry, guys. Okay. So after this, I just want to print a basic one like print the first menu. I just preparing the menu card. So check balance, balance, right, and print second one, deposit money, right, and the third one, withdraw money, and the final one is print, fourth one is exit. If you print more than so I just want to create a variable to choose the option what you chose. So just I want to create a variable a is equal to int of input of enter your choice, right, 1 to 4 options. Okay. After that, I just want to create the first one like if choice is equal to if a is equal to 1, then just printing the what's the first case, guys, check the balance. So just want to print the balance. So your current balance is balance, right, is done. The first one is you can done, guys. After that, second case, elif A is equal to 2, then what will do, like take a amount, actually depositing amount, right? So I just creating a variable amount and asking the user how much amount you're depositing in this bank. So just float of input of enter amount to be deposited, right? Deposit, and you can adding a next if condition, like if amount greater than equal to 0, less than equal to 0, then print that invalid amount, right? Invalid amount. After that, else uh, balance is equal to balance plus equal to a amount. You know this shortcut explained in the last class, right? In the last class, what do you mean this of the statement is, right? Balance 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 equal to balance plus amount. I know the one you was remember this one, like in the last class I discussed about the shortcuts like in assignment operators. I hope you understand for the plus minus multiplication division and modulus and flow division also. I hope you understand, guys. So from this like that. So after that I want to print that the amount was deposited successfully because you're just adding your balance, right? So amount deposited successfully, right? So that and I forgot the next statement, that print that new balance is balance, right? So I've done this one. So just updated the balance and I just want to print the new balance amount. Okay, after that the final case, withdrawing. So just creating again the elif a is equal to 3, right? And amount is equal to float of input of enter the amount to withdraw, right? So that if same again statements like if amount is greater than equal to 0, print invalid amount. I don't want to waste time, so I just want to copy this one. So after this, if the statement is false, then it goes else part, then it verifies that and another case, guys, if you want to withdraw amount, for example in your balance you have just 10,000 rupees and I want to withdraw 25,000, it's impossible now, guys. It shows as insufficient. So I just want to create another if else. If the amount is less than or greater than or equal to balance, then print that insufficient balance, right? Are you understanding this, guys? I hope you understand this one. Because see, in your bank balance you're just 10,000 only, but you want to withdraw 25, it is not possible now, guys. If how much your bank you can withdraw up to the limit, we cannot withdraw exceed the amount, right? Exceed the limit, right? So I just created this one. After that final part, the else part, right? And I just creating that balance must be equal to balance minus equal to amount, means I just deducting the amount because you're just withdrawing. What do you mean by withdraw, guys? You're just taking a cash from the ATM. Deposit means you're just giving the money to the ATM so that it was added in your account. But when you withdraw, it was deducted to your in your balance, right? So just done. What is this full form, guys? Balance is equal to balance minus amount, right? So and just want to print that amount is deducted. That same statements I just want to paste. I just want to edit like that. See, and just want to change some just like uh, withdrawn successfully, and the new balance is balance. That's it, guys. It's a waste of time just writing Nilandi. So I was done my logic, and the final one I should do done. Like, see, you're just writing the four cases, right? You remember that one is check balance, second is deposit money, third is withdraw money, and fourth is exit. If the user understands the want to exit that one, so just write if else a is equal to flow. I just want to write something closing statement for this, so just print thank you for using Addik Bank ATM and print goodbye. So I want to save this one. I'm sorry, I just. And the final case, if the enter use more than 4, then else what will happen? Print invalid choice, right? That's it, guys, we're done. So first I want to say this one. I just want to run this. So initially it asks the balance regarding that, so I just want to enter to check my balance. I just enter my one. So my current balance is 1,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees, right? And I want to deposit some money regarding this, so just want to enter the second one, and just want the amount to deposit is nearly 50,000 right now. So it's just entering. So 50,000 is successfully deposited, and it shows a new balance like 1,50,000. I want to withdraw entire amount, so I just want to take a third option. So I just want to entering this, so I want to withdraw entire amount, and let's see what will happen. See, it's saying that if see insufficient balance, because see you just write a one code, right? Amount less than equal to 0, just invalid. If amount is greater than equal to balance, is insufficient, because there are some charges regarding the bank statements, like for every month they will take some charges regarding the bank transfers and cash withdrawing, card maintenance, like that. So they will not accept minimum 10 to 100 rupees should be a minimum balance required for that. So just rupees should be a 5, so just equal to that balance, so it's insufficient. So I want to again do this one, so it's third case, and I want to write 1,49,000. Let's see what will happen. One second, I want to check it again. Let's check this. So it's 1 lakh. For this case, it was upgraded to 1,40,000. Again, it once runs. So I just want to withdraw just 99,000 rupees. So let's see. See, 99,000 is returned successfully. New balance is 1,000. Actually, guys, the before cases was not satisfied because the only one thing said the entire code is running again, so that new balance is not updating. Actually, the initial balance is 1 lakh. After that, you just checking the balance is 1 lakh only. After you just deposited, it was not updating, because see, guys, it is just one way loop. If you use the next topic is this a kind of iteration statements, like means it's like a loops, like for loop, while loop. In that we can execute the particular one in n number of times we required, then it was updated automatically in that. But it is just a one way loop, means it just executed one time, it just done, and again executed the first onwards. So the initial balance should be at 1 lakh only. Okay guys, like that. In this case, so it was not updating, so initially 1 lakh, so that it's not, it shows again like 1 lakh 50,000, 1 lakh 49,000, that shows insufficient because initially it's 1 lakh, so you cannot withdraw 1 lakh 14 or 1 lakh 50,000, right? So that's it. I just withdraw again 99,000. So then it shows that the balance is 1,000 rupees only right now, and I want to exit this. So then let's see what it shows. See, thank you for using my RDX Bank ATM, and just said goodbye. So this is the mini ATM system I was prepared right now. So this is the lengthy first. So I said this is lengthy. Actually, you can prepare the original like there's many options, like you can deposit or you can set the pin for the debit card, and we can use the phone pay transaction, means there's some online transactions also there in your ATM systems. With our phone, without using a debit card, you can just withdraw the amount by using a phone, by scanning with the phone UPS, right? You understand that? I think the moderate ATM system was developed a lot. I think most of the ATMs also was developed. So just as a mini system. So this is the project 2 was just explained right now, and the finally third project I just give the question just to console it, guys. So I hope you understand, you can solve this. It's very easy only, and if you have inroads, you can just do that. um like a project is a login system, guys. I hope you understand the login system. I just give a sample demo in login system, so it's waste of time again I just explaining this. So I just give a brief explain, and just you can try, you can make one and send it in a comment section. I will verify and just check that. So I hope you understand, guys. So I just given the question to you, like login system. The requirements should be username, password, and after that uh, mobile number or email, and just enter, verify it everything. If it satisfies, it just and show display that login successfully. If the one condition is not satisfied, then shows that it is not the particular one, like username is invalid, password is invalid, email is invalid. Before case I use it, like see guys, like see in the previous example explain that see uh, where's the question, I want to show that once again. See that username and password I will show once again. What a unit sprints. Let's see that. I think you explained the last section maybe. Extension. Yeah, I see this is the program. I just create the username and password, and I just ask the inputs from the user, and I just check by using the nested if conditions. Like that, check this email by using the nested if, whatever it is, what is comfortable for you. Check it like this, the login system. It's very easy, guys. Do not worry. So I hope you understand. I understand this entire video right now, and I just cover this entire topic. The five topics I cover in this topic, like if else, nested if, and multiple conditional statements, and the finally a past statement. And in this video, I just explained the two major topics, like that. What is that like? One is that a grade system, and there is a ATM mini ATM system. So from this video I explained the two major programs as right now, and I hope you can solve this third program very easily. I have explained a small demo regarding this in the previous in this video itself only, in the nested if condition. So if you have any doubts, one check the nested if again, and just add the one another column, that is email. So I just changed that same question, I just added another condition also. So use that one. Okay guys, don't be worried. So I hope you understand this very clearly, guys. So see up to this end, guys, don't skip anything, okay? And I hope you're understanding. So thank you guys for giving us so much of time. Thank you for listening a lot for this 1 hour. This is a very lengthy program, so I just covering both the concept as well as the coding part, and I just give you some examples like this. and just giving you some questions regarding these guys. So I hope you understand, guys. So please do not forget to like, share, subscribe the channel, guys. If you want to share any moments with me, please share in comment section. If you have any doubts and if you want to show any answers and if you want to display the third answer, then please send in comment section, guys. I will definitely respond it, guys. So please don't forget, guys. So thank you so much, thank you a lot.